Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the fourth workshop of TesserX, an initiative under Axis 2025 and Sri Lanka's first ever school level ideathon of its kind, proudly organized by the Royal College Computer Society in collaboration with OREPA. TesserX continues to grow as a launchpad for young innovators, and this workshop marks yet another key milestone in that journey. With teams now steadily progressing through the ideathon, it's time to look beyond just coding and creativity and focus on something equally important: how to make your ideas sustainable and viable in the real world. Today's workshop is all about business plan development, a crucial step in transforming a great idea into a functional, fundable, and future ready product. Understanding how to present your solution from a business perspective can often be what sets winners apart. We are honored to have Mr. Dehan Vithana, the lead data evangelist at Mass Intimates, here with us today to guide this session. With his deep expertise in data driven decision making and innovation strategy, Mr. Vithana will go you through the essentials of building a strong, structured, and compelling business plan. Whether it's identifying your value proposition, understanding your market, or planning for scalability, today's workshop will equip you with the tools to think like a true entrepreneur. I encourage you all to engage fully, ask questions, and absorb as much as you can. This knowledge will not only boost your TesserX journey, but serve you well far beyond it. Let's keep the momentum going and make the most of this opportunity. Wishing you productive and insightful session ahead. Now, I invite Mr. Dehan Vithana to continue with today's session. Over to you, Aya.
Hi everyone. Hope I'm audible enough. Can someone confirm?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen as well. Hopefully screen also visible.
Yes, Aya.
Okay. So thanks everyone. Hope everyone is ready for the competition and I'm going with your plan. And what I'm going to do and what I'm going to deliver today is not from the technical point of view. Whatever the product you do, it can be a technological product, it can be a software, website, mobile app, or it can be a tangible product, can be a physical product or a machine. Whatever the product you do, there has to be a business plan when you want to make it commercialized. If you go through historical analysis and if you go through most of the business, not only Sri Lankan context, even in global context, there are many instances those initiatives have been failed. Even in Sri Lanka, a lot of people have started their own startup, including myself. Like I also started a startup sometime back just after university graduation. But we had a proper business plan, but we were not prepared enough to run the business. Because of that, even though the concept, even though the product is really good, we were not able to proceed with that. Then we had to give up everything. So that's a good learning for me. And from that point onwards, whatever I do, even with a startup or even with a product or in my current workplace, whatever the innovative product we do, I think from the commercialization point of view. And today, throughout the whole session, I'm going to cover you one of the tool we are using in business context. Probably you have heard and probably you have already used as well, probably in this hackathon, or if you have participated in one before. This tool, this process is going to be one of the most standard globally accepted model. Even in this competition also, when you have to present your idea, when you have to pitch your idea, this model or this tool can be used for ease of communication for the judge panel as well. If you need, you can pick or you can customize according to your product requirement as well. To start off, my name is Dehan. Thanks for the introduction as well. So at the moment, I'm working for MS Intimates, which is the largest exporter in Sri Lanka. We recently got awarded from the president as well for the best or the biggest exporter in Sri Lanka. I'm a part of MS Holdings. Intimates is a part of MS Holdings, which with consists of 100,000 employees globally across 16 countries and net worth of 2 billion USD dollar net worth company. And it also started as a startup, still running as a family business and small idea, a small apparel manufacturing facility they want to start. And now it's a big giant company with $2 billion net worth company. And my division, I'm part of MS Intimates, which is again 50,000 employees with $1 billion USD net worth per annum. My job role there is purely supporting with all the data-driven decision-making purpose. It can be front office, manufacturing, or support service, whatever the function, whatever the domain people are there. I'm supporting with them relevant dashboard, relevant analytics, and data science initiatives to drive the organization for the next level. That's basically my job role. Throughout the whole session, I prefer if you have any question, just unmute yourself and ask a question. At the same time, I'll stop my delivery and listen to your question and answer at the same time. Or if you're not comfortable in unmuting yourself, what you can do is you can put a message either on Zoom chat as a public or you can put a private. Business development, unless you are studying business studies or if you are studying into management point of view, usually during school curriculum, this is not covered. Even I learned most of these concepts when I was in the university, when working with different industries and companies. I learned some of the tools. Since I haven't followed business studies or commerce stream in the school, I didn't know. I also didn't know. But whatever the stream you are following, whatever the occupation or whatever the job role you are doing, even though I'm an engineer, whatever the product I do, I have to commercialize. I want to make it sell. I want to make it workable and profitable product as well. So that's why business development matters across all the industries, all the domains, whatever you do. What it means, the building, you can do something amazing you can build. And how you look at it, who's going to use it, and why they consider about the product, that's where the real value addition comes. Again, the best example is Apple. There are many phones globally, it can be Android or any other operating system or any other phone manufacturer. Still, Apple is the number one selling phone globally. And they have a value proposition. They have track. They know what they want to do, even though there are competitors, there are similar products in the market. They know exactly who's their target audience and what's their value proposition, how they want to pitch their product. Usually in hackathon, it's all about innovation. Like you come up with a new initiative, you figure it out a problem, and you come up with a new concept. And business development always look at the impact. It can be impact from the monetary point of view, how much profit you're gonna gain. That can be a monetary point of view. But mostly in a competition level or mostly in business context as well, in most of the scenarios, we look at the impact. Impact you're gonna have on the people who are using it and your own business as well. So that's what we are looking at from business model development point of view, not from the innovation point of view. While you are innovating your product, how you can create the impact towards your team, your employees, your organization, at the same time, your users, also your partners as well. In a business, if you want to deliver a business, you need stakeholders. When it comes to stakeholders, definitely direct stakeholders would be your employees, your subordinate, or your team, plus your users. Also, you need stakeholders to support your business as well. In business world, we call them partners. And you need partners to deliver the best impact for your product. And probably in hackathon stage, when you are actually competing and you're pitching your idea, probably you might not need partners. But when you're actually delivering a right product to the market, you need partners to deliver that as well. Why it is important again? It validates your idea. You have a nice fancy idea. Once you put into a business management tool, it gives you whether your idea actually works or not. It's a validation for the team and it's a validation for yourself as well. And also, it gives you a different point of view how you want to market your product to the market, how you can attract your users and customers of your product. That's another way business model or business development tools guide you to identify your customer segmentation. Third, thinking only from the hackathon point of view, if you put in a business point of view and you can sell the product faster, more than the technological pitch. If you sell from the profitable point of view, if you sell from the business point of view, there's a high chance you can convince judge panel as well easily. They might ask some of the technical questions as well, how this product can be developed since it's the ideathon, how this can be developed and what are the technical challenges you're going to face, or the product capability, product complexity. Those questions they might ask. But if you have a business scenario, if you have a business model in place, easily you can pitch your idea to judge panel as well. Also, when you have a business tool, business model, it gives you the vision of your idea as well. Whoever comes to your product, probably this is just a competition, but if you want to take it to market, you need investors. And when you want to pitch the idea for the investors, you need to highlight them what's going to be the long-term plan for my product. Again, I'll take Apple, since anyone familiar with Apple. Initially, they were just computer manufacturer when they initially start. Then they slowly expanded to other computer devices. It was there in their long-term plan. The Steve Jobs and Wozniak, the entire leadership team, they knew from the beginning, we don't stick into only computer manufacturing. We don't stick into only personal computer manufacturing. We're going to expand our domain. So they started with iPod. I think now iPod manufacturing is completely stopped. Sometime back, iPod became a huge trend. When I was schooling, we had MP3 players. So we put the cassette and we listened to MP3 players using the cassette. And then, or the CD, then the CD also came. Then they introduced iPod. That became a trend. And one of the long-term plan they implemented. And then they slowly moved into mobile industry. You know what happened to BlackBerry and Nokia after they introduced Nokia, the iPhone, as a separate digital device. So that's the strategy, and that's the long-term plan they had. Even today itself, once you put into a business model tool, you can have idea and vision for your own business as well, which is very important in today's world. So whatever the business strategy you're going to do, you need to have a proper problem. If you don't define your problem in effective manner, where you can analyze, where you can solve, if you don't know, if you don't identify your problem thoroughly, then you don't have a proper business scenario as well. So I'll give you 1 minute just to have what kind of a problems people are looking at trying to solve in this particular scenario or in the competition. You can put a private message. You don't have to put any public since can be confidential. You can put me a private message. What kind of problem? No need to explain your solution. Just simple words. What's going to be your problem? And who are the people suffering from this particular problem? And that means basically whose problem you're going to solve, your target audience, and what kind of problem you're gonna face. I don't need the solution. Just in 1 or 2 sentences in your hackathon competition, just put in private message what kind of problem you're gonna try to solve. I'll give you 1 minute to type and send me. You can put a private message if you're okay. Put on a public chat as well. Okay, there's a rest feedback. That's fine. That's how it is. Okay, so we can continue. Now, the next is where you need to identify what is your value proposition, which is very important. when you understand the value proposition. And if you don't have a unique value addition for your product, it's going to be challenging when you want to address your unique problem, which you're going to have. And what kind of a benefit you're going to provide from your product, which your competitors. So there can be competitors, whatever the product you're going to do. Sometimes innovation comes with the competition as well. For example, in Sri Lankan context, Uber and Pick.me are competitors. That's why Pick.me doing continuous innovation as well to make it market reliable and get the target audience attract together as well. The recent new addition they did, the user can pick who's going to be the driver, which Uber doesn't have. Probably most of the global taxi applications, they don't have that feature. And Pick.me introduce while you put the ride, and there are offers coming up with the cost and the driver rating. You can pick who's the driver you want. So that's kind of feature is innovation. Sometimes innovation comes with the competition as well. So that's why have a proper understanding on existing solution also really important, and to have understanding on what kind of a market or what kind of product approach, what kind of business approach you can have in this particular scenario. And why it is now and why it is you. This is what the business model gives you a context, or business tool gives you the context, why it is you and what is now. Otherwise, when you are doing the pitching, when you are commercial and your product, if you don't know why you have to do this product and why it is relevant now in the current context or the future context, if you don't know those two questions, to answer those questions, then it's going to be a problem for the futuristic or the commercialization capability of your product. Uh, the tool I'm going to introduce is called Business Model Canvas. If you put everything into a business model canvas, what it will do is it will guide you to help through to figure it out why the product can be existed and why it is relevant to now. That's the single page canvas. Once you complete the canvas, then you can directly finish and you can do the same pitching for the judge panel as well. This is what it means. It's called Business Model Canvas and founded by Alexander. It's his own company called Strategizer, and they do paid versions as well. If you want to get the commercialized version of Business Model Canvas, there's a paid version of it. You can log into their Strategizer platform and they sell that product. And most of the organizations actually using the free version. They don't need to have to go to in detail of the paid version. Free version is more than enough to drive your business and to commercialize or do your business development plan. Uh, I'll go through one by one. This is the single canvas. There are different component to canvas as well. So throughout the whole session, I'll go through how you're going to start and how you're going to go through and how you're going to outline through the canvas. In a presentation, if you want to pitch this idea, this particular single page canvas is more than enough. Most of the people in the industries, they know business model canvas at a single page. They know how to read as well. But there's a way you can pitch as well. There's a storyline. All the 9 boxes, how you can pitch the idea on how your business is going to be developed and run. First part, that's called customer segment. And that's the most important part. You need to have understanding on what's going to be your user specific area. It can be age specific for the child or adults, millennials, Gen X, Gen Alpha. There can be age specific, there can be domain specific, there can be geographical specific as well. Sometimes only for southern region, northern region, only western province. So there can be a geographical customer segmentation. There are several setup of customer segment. This is not exactly from the business development point of view, but from the marketing point of view. Mass market, like in Uber, Pick.me, or Apple. So you directly put into a mass market. There's no any particular demographic. You just release for the entire space, and whoever interested, they can purchase. So that's what mass market means. And these kind of a mass market needs significant investment for the product, because you don't have a proper customer segmentation. You release at a big product. Niche market, this might be more relevant for your product. Niche market means you pick a particular small component, or probably the early adapters and probably the people who are more desperate to have your product. That's what you call niche market. And segmented, this also can be very relevant. Segmentation can be, let's assume you do a health app or you have a health related application. And segmentation, you can separate by age wise. For the younger crowd, you can promote from the fitness level, fitness tracker app. And for the elder people, you can promote from the like cholesterol, diabetes, they have inherited problems. So likewise, you can split by the age, same map, but different services based on the age. So those are the segmented one. And a diversified, that means you address same product for the diversified crowd, based on their religious beliefs, based on their gender, based on their race, how they can look at the service can be different. This is what Carnage does as a business. So how they have diversity is based on gender mostly. So they have separate Carnage women category and Carnage men category. And the diversity, how the diversity work is, uh, they do the same set of products, same set of technology, but how they market and their segment is different. Multi-sided markets, that can be again can be difficult in some instances, that like a same coin there are two sides, something like that, and same product they use in two different scenarios. Multi-sided market, I'll take again same example I pick. Multi-sided can be pick me. Usually they try attract the customer for the ride, but the parallelly they have pick me foods, they have pick me rentals, they have pick me deliveries. If they want to deliver something, they have the pick me rental and pick me flash as well. So that's what multi-sided market. You promote using one product, and once you onboard, then you can have the different side of market as well. So at this stage, you have to go in detail. This actually success of the business model canvas is you have to go through in detail, most granular level to make it success. That's how you can get the most profitable or the productive output from the tool. Likewise, how I explain these market segments, you need to specify those market segments as well. Second component, this is most important, I would say. This is called value proposition. What's the unique value you provide from your product? Uh, so there can be questions like these are sample questions I have put it here. If you are struggling with the team, you can ask those questions and you can give the answers for those questions as well. What is the value you deliver for your customers and what are the problems you're going to solve? And what are the needs of the users you're going to satisfying as well? There can be multiple scenarios and these are the keywords you can help. You can get help to identify your value proposition. So there can be newness, can be totally new. There can be convenience, there can be cost reduction. Uh, if you want to purchase high performance athleisure, Adidas Nike can be expensive, but that's Carnage value proposition. Same similar capability product, athleisure products, we sell for lower price. That's the cost reduction. That's what price means. And the performance, they can be slower. The app already existing process takes 7 days, and you are building a new app which give the same level of experience within 1 day. So that's the performance means. Customization, this is very important. If you are targeting Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they prefer customization. And if it is a product, they can drag and drop, they can customize whatever the product output they want. That's what they done. And people like me, so we have a requirement. If the job is done, then I'm more than happy. Like that also a different market. And design and the brand. If you partner with a particular brand, then brand also comes. This is what Barista does. If you recently follow Barista, like within last 1 year, 2 year, they significantly expanded. How they did it, they converted it as a franchise and they help small entrepreneurs, like small level entrepreneurs. They provide the brand visibility and the small entrepreneurs start their franchise based on since the already brand is in place. So that also can be one way how you can create the value for the users. This is what Starbucks also does. And that's called value proposition. This is the most important part. You have to spend more time on this. Out of all the 9 blocks, you have to spend more time on this for the particular identified customer segment, how you can create the value. Then once you identify the value of your product, you know the customer segmentation, what is the unique team you want to follow up. What you can do is then how you can communicate the message. It can be based on your sales team. you can have a physical sales team, or you can have online platform for the sales, and you can have your own stores as well. How Carnage started, like purely from social media sales at the very beginning, and they moved to separately then the website. Then later on, they moved to physical store as well. Uh, and also they have their partner stores. One would example would be Moose. Moose you can purchase from different Cool Planet or House of Fashion or Glitz or whatever other partner stores. You can purchase Moose as well. So that's what called partner stores. You can have your own stores like in Carnage, and Carnage product you can purchase from other stores as well. So that's what partner stores. Or you can directly ship everything to a wholesaler. So if you are doing a physical product, this can be very useful. How you can channel, how you can market your product in different areas. But whatever the tangible or intangible product you do, the channel phases are important. First, you need to create the awareness. It can be social media. I can remember in some time, like for some of the product launch, if you follow Block and Dino, Vasti, they have like for the product launch itself, they created videos. So that's how they build the awareness. So the awareness matters most. This is how the penetration start as well. Then the evaluation, once you do the larger scale or the niche market based on your customer segmentation, you do a product launch or awareness. Then you do assessment whether this particular communication worked or not. Only if that works, then you go for the third phase. That's where you drive people for the purchasing the product. One good example is Ikman.lk. Ikman.lk, at the very early stage, I think almost for 2 to 3 years, they provided the service for free. They didn't charge anything at all. So you can put any advert there for free, and even the users, they can do it for. And that's what they did. They promoted the website and they did assessment, and they waited for the right moment to make it like a commercialized product. Probably from the adverts they earned, probably first 1 or 2 years until the brand was properly positioned. They spent a lot of time on 1 and 2. Then they realized, okay, we have done a proper evaluation, our market is properly positioned. Then they converted as a subscription model. From that point onwards, if you want to put ad on Ikman.lk, you have to pay. So that's where the purchasing stage comes into play. And still you can continue with the advertisement. And the customer delivery, with the customer going to happy about it. Usually Ikman tries to sell their product within 2 to 3 days. If it is renting, probably like 1 week. So that's where the delivery comes. Whatever the delivery, and even how Pick Me look at it is, now they have a new KPI within 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, they're gonna assign the driver. That's their new KPI. That's where the delivery comes. After sales, one good example in Pick Me, if the driver is not properly professional, and sometimes they're asking card and cash, there can be conflicts. So there is after sale, after the service delivery also there. So that's another communication or the channel you need to maintain for your product. When you're doing the product spec, definitely you need to have all five together. That's how you can categorize. Then customer relationships. This is more important. How you gonna maintain your customer relationships? Uh, what type of customer relationship you want to maintain? Sometimes they're going to allocate personal assistants and dedicated personal assistant. Two different scenarios. Personal assistant means you call customer care, or you just put a question on your app or website itself, and a personal random personal assistant will be allocated. And dedicated personal assistant in insurance industry, in banking industry, they're going to allocate a dedicated personal assistant. That's the one way of you build a customer relationship. Sometimes it can be self-service as well. Most of the mobile apps related services, they have a sales service capability. They have done a proper design thinking, and they have identified what are the questions, FAQs, and FAQs are already embedded, and they can solve the problem by themselves. Even Uber Pick Me has those kind of service. And automated service, this is where Gen AI also comes into play. Most of the business are now embedding for the servicing, customer servicing, automating customer servicing with Gen AI capability, and chatbots and other automated capabilities you can drive. And the communities, there can be community framework. In some of the application and website, they have a community built. And people can discuss each other, customers can discuss each other. Like booking.com, And most of the Airbnb, what they are trying to do is they are trying to Agoda, TripAdvisor. So what the hotel related or travel related industries, what they are trying to do is they are trying to build a community. Even in a gaming industry as well, they are trying to build a community. Then the community recommends and they interact with the community as well. Co-creation, this is where the partnership also matters. Some customers prefers to customize. They don't want anything else. And in that case, co-creation matters. Your service, your product should give the capability for them to co-create together. This happens in apparel industry most. What you can do is if you can Google that. So there's a product sometime back called My Calvin. What My Calvin Klein does is you can put your own logo, you can pick your color fabric, you can design the t-shirt or the garment, and it will be delivered to your house. So that's where the co-creation comes. So they from the apps itself, they pick their product and they submit, then it will be manufactured and delivered to you. This is what the Meta initially started to do. If you can remember, before Meta AI comes into play, Metaverse was there when Mark Zuckerberg wanted to introduce Metaverse. Now, still the idea is there, but he's not investing on Metaverse anymore. Metaverse whole concept was all the brands, they come to in a virtual environment with the user, with the customer, they can co-create, they can co-collaborate. That was the whole concept of Metaverse sometime back before this Gen AI comes into play. Then revenue stream, you need to be profitable. How you going to earn? Whether you sell a product or based on the usage we're going to charge, whether there's a subscription, whether you rent or lease. This can be very easy, straightforward, whether you give a license, that means annual license, or that you can be a third party like Ikman and or PickMe, Uber, Airbnb, those are third party. The driver gets the amount and part of that commission fee or the brokerage fee gets by Uber, PickMe, Airbnb. That can be another revenue stream. And simply anyone can do advertising as well. So probably I have listed down most of the revenue stream categories. There can be other revenue categories as well. But whatever product you do, you can include at least one of these, or there can be multiple ways of categories of revenue streams as well. And what are the ways your business will generate cash? This is again a double click of revenue stream. This is a direct ways of generate revenue stream. And how you can do the pricing. Pricing matters. That's why DSI, Bata, when they are doing pricing, they put it as 99.99. Pricing also matters. There's a psychological impact, and there's a way of how you can pricing asset. Even in most of the mobile apps, they do like $9. Even Netflix, there's a mid pricing category $9.99. That's how they have done the pricing. Pricing matters to attract the customer. But there are different ways of pricing. Can be fixed pricing or dynamic pricing. Fixed pricing purely like how you go to a store, you purchased, and customer segment price. If it is senior citizens, a different price, younger crowd, different price, customer segment price, you can do a fixed menu pricing. And based on the volume, that's how the cloud works. If for its 1 GB one price, 2 GB one price, even mobile data same, volume dependent, 1 GB one price, 5 GB one price. So pricing can be like this based on the features. Like product feature means you add different components based on the components you're gonna add. The price can be changed. Like in a food, you can add for the meal some additional items. Based on the other additional items, the price can be different. That can be product feature dependent. List is straightforward, single price. And dynamic pricing, where people can negotiate, there's no static pricing. This can be very risk when it comes to dynamic pricing, but because of the you don't know how to predict your sales and your volatility, the liquidity of your business can be very challenging. The negotiation, that means customer can bid and they can bid and they can get the price. This most of the crypto related businesses, crypto driven businesses, they do actually this kind of model. Then the customer can negotiate, bid like auction, they can bid and get the price, and yielding based on the how the price changes, they can yield, and real time market value, and auctions also can be there. This is called dynamic pricing. Key resources to drive this. What is the key resources you need in your business? You would have physical key resources, that means your developers, your service team, marketing team, and intellectual. If you do a unique product, you need to have a patent, you need to have IP, that's your intellectual property rights. Otherwise, people can copy. If you have the protected, legally protected your innovation concept or the patent or the IP with the legal terms, then other people can't sell your product. At least for 10 years, your product going to be saved. Human asset is the most important. And then financial assets, financial resources, how much assets you need for the servers and for the machines, what kind of financial investment you need. That's where the key resources you need to have. Key activities, what are the main operations you drive in your business? If you do a production, that means you do a development server, or if you do a tangible product, in that case, you have to do a manufacturing process. Or if you do a development, then on an application server, then there's another production server as well. So that's one point. And then problem solving, that's where your application itself or your business operation itself, what you do is customers brings you problem and you do the problem solving. That's one part of your key activity in your application itself. Like in PickMe, they have a separate problem solving team. At the same while there's a production team as well in PickMe. Production team deliver their day-to-day business as usual activities. Problem solving team, they are trying to reduce those problems. One problem solving would be there is a concern, still Uber has this concern. Some of the drivers, they're asking to change back to cash. They don't want to get into card.
Yeah, I think your microphone is muted.
Uh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, screen is visible, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Then the example I was explaining, a PickMe, where they had a problem. Like even Uber still has a problem. PickMe had a problem. When the riders comes into card payments, they were not willing to accept it. They were reluctant. They canceled the orders. They did a problem solving. Like a lot of customers complained, and they had a separate problem solving team, like the data analytics team, data science team. They came up with a method with the finance team together. Even with a card payment, within 10 to 15 minutes, the rider gets it. Previously, they have to wait one day. Now it's not there anymore. Within 10 to 15 minutes, they get the full amount which they're supposed to get. After that, actually, the problem to some extent sorted, but still, because there is a charge taken by the picnic, still there are some riders struggling like to take card payments. But compared to before, now the problem has to some extent have been solved. So that's how you use technology for the problem solving of the customers. That's one way operation or the key activity you need to do. Not only the product, you need to have a separate activity on the problem solving. Best example, how Pick made it. Then platform and network. Platform can't be slow. Some of the mobile apps and websites, if the platform getting slower, when the traffic comes into play, if it is challenging or if it's getting slower and slower, then people don't want to use it. So because of that, for the platform management and the network management, you need to have a keep it as a separate activity in your business. So that's another way how you can segregate your key activity. Partnerships, I mentioned earlier, how you want to build the partnerships for the service and for the delivery point of view. Then economy of scales. So economy of scales means for you have a pricing and you want to expand your business and you do the expansion with the support of partnerships. Otherwise, every time it's going to be fixed. If you want to expand, if you want to grow your business, you need to have a optimization of economy of scale. You need to have a roadmap. This is where the long-term plan comes into play. How you can expand your pricing or the profitability in your business. For that, you need to have proper partnership. Otherwise, you can't expand it. This example, Apple, they were computer manufacturer. They want to get into mobile industry and they didn't have that technology before. What they did was they acquired. Same thing what Google did was that's why it's called Alphabet. They predominantly started as a search engine and they acquired most of the startups under Alphabet Incorporation and they converted as a Google product. So because of that, the partnership matters if you want to expand your business. And when you have partnerships, the risk is also minimum. If you drive everything together, then it's going to be a problem. Then don't uh, you don't have any, like, still the risk is there, but it's very minimum, because when the partners are there, they can support you, because they run their business separately. They have separate ecosystem. They can support you if you are struggling. That's how the partnership management works. If you do everything by yourself, if something goes wrong in your business, then suddenly you don't have anyone to support. That's most of the businesses. Sometimes to maintain the infrastructure, sometimes for the marketing, sometimes for the maintenance. They work with different partners. They don't do everything in-house. They outsource into different capability. That's purely from the risk point of view. And the last piece, which I explain again, you you acquire, you purchase that particular service or the activity, and you expand it further. You don't start everything from scratch. You just purchase. But in some instances, you don't have to purchase as well. I'll again take PickMe as example. PickMe doesn't use Google Map API. As far as I know, most of the other location-driven apps use Google Maps, but PickMe doesn't use. They have their own map API, map feature. The reason is they can customize according to their requirement. How Uber drives, if you go for the location and how they calculate the time and the delivery time, it can be same time for tuk-tuk, same time for bike, can be same time for car as well in Uber. But because that's how Google API drives, they don't deep dive into vehicle category. But in PickMe, since they have their customized map version, whether it is by the tuk-tuk, whether it by a bike, whether it's by the car, the delivery time can be different for the same location. That's how they have customized their map feature. So sometimes acquisition might not need, but sometimes acquisition might need it for you to be stable and expand your business. And the cost structure, this is where you need to have understanding on how your profitability impacts and how you want to drive your business, whether it is cost driven or value driven. That comes with your business vision as well. Some business, they focus on only on reducing cost. Some business delivering only value. Apple might be a best example. They don't care about the cost at all. That's why those phones are really expensive. Some of the Indian phones or Chinese phones, they're purely driven by cost. That's why you can purchase them for a lower price. But Apple prefers more than the cost, more than the value. That's why those are expensive. So what kind of business model you want to do? Again, based on your customer segment, your value proposition is matters. You need to figure out whether my business is cost driven or value driven. Every time doesn't have to value driven. Some business, if you drive it by a cost driven, that's good. That's more than enough. You don't have to focus on value driven. And what kind of a costing structure you need to have? There can be fixed cost, variable cost. Economy of scale is expanding your profitability, expanding your pricing structure. Scope is getting into other industries with other domains. Google initially is only a search engine. They acquired other business. They slowly expanded their scope. At the same time, when they're expanding their scope, there can be different cost structures. You need to change your cost structure based on your scope change. This is what cost structure characteristics means. And first, before that, you need to understand whether you are cost-driven organization or a value-driven organization. This is what business model canvas means. Everything together, you can put into your canvas together. This is a single page. When you're doing your pitch, you can use this as a structure, and you can just directly put everything together. People know. But how you put it here, there's a story behind this. How I did the flow, like 1, 2, 3, likewise, there's an order. How you want to put it there as well. I'll share a separate slide on that as well. There's a meaning to right side, there's a meaning for left side. I'll explain that as well. But when you put this as a slide, most of the people, even the judge panel, people who are in the business, they know, okay, this is what this person trying to communicate. So you can spend save you a lot of time during a pitch as well. And all the pitching ideas you can put in one single slide, and you can easily communicate as well, because there's a storyline, like how I explained. There's a storyline to business model canvas, very useful tool. most of the $1 million business, still they use this single canvas. They can drive their business using this. So I'll put a small video. I'm not sure whether I shared with the sound. Let me reshare with the sound. Okay. I'll play the video.
An organization's business model can be described with 9 basic building blocks: your customer segments, your value proposition for each segment, the channels to reach customers, customer relationships you establish, the revenue streams you generate, the key resources and key activities you require to create value, the key partners, and the cost structure of the business model. But it's not sufficient to just enumerate the 9 building blocks. What you really want to do is to map them out on a pre-structured canvas. This is what we call the business model canvas, a tool that helps you map, discuss, design, and invent new business models. Let's briefly go through the 9 building blocks, starting with the customer segments. These are all the people or organizations for which you're creating value. This includes simple users and paying customers. For each segment, you have a specific value proposition. These are the bundles of products and services that create value for your customers. The channels describe through which touchpoints you're interacting with customers and delivering value. The customer relationships outline the type of relationship you're establishing with your customers. The revenue streams make clear how and through which pricing mechanisms your business model is capturing value. Then you need to describe the infrastructure to create, deliver, and capture value. The key resources show which assets are indispensable in your business model. The key activities show which things you really need to be able to perform well. The key partners show who can help you leverage your business model, since you won't own all key resources yourself, nor you perform all key activities. Then once you understand your business model's infrastructure, you'll also have an idea of its cost structure. So with the business model canvas, you can map out your entire business model in one image. This works for startup entrepreneurs just as well as for the most senior executives.
So this is how a business model canvas works. So that's why I mentioned earlier there's a story. How you want to interpret the storyline. Anyway, it's already embedded with the business model tool. So I'll take a real world example, then we can wrap up as well. Hopefully everyone has heard about Spotify. It's a live streaming music service provider. Now we'll go through business model canvas quickly and how they create, deliver, capture value on what they provide for their users and artists. So artists is a stakeholder, the key partner for them. Users are the customers. So this is a business model canvas. So similar structure you can use. There's a storyline. I'll show you that as well. You can take a screenshot or I'll share the slide as well later on. You start with customer segments. In Spotify, customer segments, definitely music listeners. There can be free and premium listeners. Artists who are providing songs, or you're uploading songs. And the record labels, those are the production companies, music production companies. And what's the value proposition? So I have put 1 and 2. So you start from here, then you go here. What's the value proposition? For the listeners, now we have figured out segments. Now we are trying to create the value proposition. In this scenario, how Spotify has done is segment-wise, they have segregated values. In your business, your product sometimes can be straightforward value proposition across all the segments. Sometimes can be different segments, different value. For the listeners, so they have a huge, big list of music library and personalized playlist are also there. The customization also there. And so they can easily find songs. If you are purchase the premium version, then you get that free experience. That's what the listeners get as a value proposition. Artists, they get the reach, it's marketed, and they can distribute with less for a less cost. and they can get the royalties if people are for the premium customers and adverts they can earn from Spotify, and they can get the intelligence as well of their streaming. I can remember sometime back Sanuka posted his insights for the entire year. Sanuka Vikramsinghe posted like how his songs insight has been generated. Also, you can get the API. If you are a data scientist, you can extract. They have provided a Spotify API. You can generate all the insights. You can build your own dashboard and can see what kind of a genre people are more interested. Demographic analysis, country-wise, artist-wise, you can create a lot of insights using Spotify APIs. And for the production companies, record labels, so they can easily distribute and they can monetize, and they also get the intelligence on how the songs are performing. When they are signing contracts with artists, they can use this and analytics for the decision making purposes to decide on the contract value and contract amount. Some of the artists, they use Spotify reach as a contract monetization opportunity. Third, then how you can communicate value proposition, this particular value to your customer segment. That's why, like, you can remember the truck was moving here. That's where the channel comes into play. Spotify, you can have mobile and desktop version, or you can directly use their website. And the partnerships, that means some of the smart devices directly they install Spotify app. One example would be some of the smart TVs, they have installed automatically Spotify. You can just have to provide the credential. And some of the car audio systems, some of the smartphones, they have the partnership with the device manufacturers. And telco companies, what they do is they provide dedicated data services for Spotify. In Sri Lanka also, you can get a dedicated data service for listen to Spotify music. So that's how you build the partnership. They can't survive alone. Let's assume Spotify, they can just directly put into App Store, and then they can ask people to download from Spotify app from the App Store. But they don't do that one. What they do is they have strategic partnership with the smart device manufacturers. They enforce people to use Spotify because by default with the device, it's already installed. That's how you build that partnership. And while you build the partnership, you can communicate with the channel. Then next, the relationship, how you build the relationship. You can have direct customer support from the app itself, or you can call them, or you can have the self-service from the app. And the communities, I mentioned earlier, the communities can share their playlist and they can share. So that also build the engagement and relationship. This actually Apple Music also has this. There's a friend cycle. What you can do is you can create your own playlist and you can share with your colleagues. So that's how you build the community and you build the social capability into app itself. It's just not a music listening application or streaming application. You build a social network inside the application itself. That's how you build the relationship. Then how you earn? Definitely the premium services. It can be monthly or annual subscription or advertising. They can put adverts there. This can be pretty straightforward. Key resources, definitely they need the technology platforms, streaming service. They need to have a strong server network or servers to run the streaming service without any interruption. Just in case while people are listening to music, if halfway through the music interrupts, then people don't want to use the application. Then what's going to happen is then servers or the algorithms, the server's going to be crashed. So you need to have a strong server system. Algorithms, there are recommendations running on app itself. If you don't have a proper algorithm, then people don't want to engage. Then music catalog means proper licensing to stream. Some musics are protected, copyrights are there, so you need to have proper licensings. And the brand visibility matters. And the user data, that's what they're going to sell for artists, they're going to sell for record labels. That's what user data matters. And the human capital to build things, engineers and data scientists. Key activities, again, connected with the key resource. If you want to have a proper technology platform, one of the key tasks is you need to have a proper platform development and maintenance team. And also the licensing team, again, these two are connected. You need to have a content acquisition. You need to explore new artists and get them onboarded to upload their song to Spotify, and the licensing for the copyright protected songs, and data analytics team, marketing team. And again, the another activity would be artists. Some of the senior artists or the reputed artists, they don't directly interact with the app. They need to have separate mechanism how they want to build the relationship with the artist. So that's one of the key activity in their business. Partnerships, I mentioned here and there some of the partnerships: record label, definitely stakeholder, music publishers. Sometimes record label and publisher can be both. Otherwise, sometimes can be two different individuals. And independent artists, which people sometimes they upload to YouTube and they can upload to Spotify as well. And payment methods, Visa, MasterCard, Pioneer, there can be multiple, PayPal, multiple payment companies. So they also need to get the support. And cloud providers, no point in having servers without having proper cloud architecture. You need to have a proper cloud team as well, or cloud partnerships. It can be AWS or Azure, whatever platform you're using. You need to build a proper partnership with them as well. Finally, cost structure. Then for the artists and for the labels, they need to pay their proper royalties for the streaming service. And you need to improve your service because there are a lot of competitors coming in. Shazam also like kind of a competitor. Apple Music also there. So you need to do continuous research and development. Marketing and sales, you need to promote your application and you need to onboard more new artists at the same time your users. IT infrastructure, this kind of a service has a significant investment on infrastructure for the servers and the technology platforms. And last but not least, human capital. You need to compensate human capital. You need to have a best talent to drive their product. You need to pay them and you need to have proper incentives schemes in your organization or in your startup. I mentioned earlier there's a story behind it. How your human brain reads. Right brain is you work on emotions and the creativity, everything runs on right brain, and left brain drives you with the logical explanation. So that's how human runs. Your right brain is emotion, left brain is logics and the fun conditions, mathematics. And once you combine both together, once you collaborate both together, then the human actually performs. People who are successful, they can have a proper mix of right brain and left brain. Same as business model canvas, left side shows the efficiency of your organization or a startup or your business, and right side shows the value you create for the organization or for the customers and for the users. So if you combine together, that means your success as a business. That's why value proposition, they keep it in middle. That's why there's a 1, 2, 3, there's a proper order how you discuss as well. That means you have the proper mix collaboration between right side and left side. That means you have a proper standard business on hand. That's all from my side. I think I just overran by a few minutes, but I can spend more time on Q&A. If you have any questions, please put the message or unmute yourself and ask the question. Or what you can do is you can, if you want to personally get some feedback, what you can do is you can scan my QR code, then directly save my contact, my social media links also available on my contact details and my email. If you need any help, you can post a question or you can call me or WhatsApp me, then I can help. Or I'll spend few more minutes. Then if you have any questions, please let me know the questions you have. Okay, Spotify canvas. Let me reshare. Yeah, I'll share the slide as well. Any more questions? Otherwise, we can wrap up. Sanidu and the team, we can wrap up the session. If you have any further questions, take my contact and directly reach me via WhatsApp or send me an email or via LinkedIn or whatever the platform you're comfortable, then I'm more than happy to support with building your canvas into single slide. So thanks everyone. Thanks Computer Society for inviting me. Hope everyone learned something out of this and you can apply this business model canvas in your business startup for the actual operation or for the pitching, or either case scenario you can use this model or canvas, and hope it will help you to win this competition at the same time to make it like actual business. Satmal has another question. Okay, I'll wait 1 more minute. I think Satmal has a question. I'll wait until he finishes the question. I'm not sure, Satmal, this question. Okay. Okay. I can help this since I have done a similar business before. What you can do is I can help you. Just put me a WhatsApp message because with the product you are proposing, there can be a lot of competition is there. You need to have a proper value proposition. So you might need to have a proper understanding on what's the value you're going to create, which your competitors are not providing. That's going to be the most difficult part. I think in the canvas, other 8 elements, more or less same as your competitors. I don't see much difference unless if you have a separate mechanism like how Shein and Temu does. Their value proposition is not the product, how they manufacture the product, how they run their supply chain. That's the value addition of Shein and Temu. They're actually software companies. They came up with the algorithm to optimize the supply chain, and then later on they realize, okay, this might be very interesting and we can use this algorithm. Actually, Temu actually copied from Shein, but Shein is the one who initially started. Shein thought of okay, this can be very interesting, why we are not going to retail industry. Then they started this e-commerce platform, and they manufacture basically everything, and with the customization, like you can do customization on Shein and Temu. I have like for my son, I have taken, you can customize from app itself and you can get it for cheaper price from China or Hong Kong. So that's customization capability, like just within 3-4 days, you can get it. That's a customization capability. There's a huge competition there. I can help. What you can do, sell me a WhatsApp message, but I might need to go in detail into value proposition. Once you crack that one, then the remaining components of the canvas are going to be easy. Any more question? Yes, we can wrap up the session. Thanks, Anid and the team, for inviting me. Thanks for the question popped up as well. Hope you learned something, and all the best for the competition. Thank you, team.
Good evening, everyone. As we wrap up today's session, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all of you for being part. Special thanks goes at Mask Intimates for sharing his remarkable insights into the art of business plan development. Your expertise in translating data-driven strategies into tangible business frameworks has been both enlightening and practical. We are truly grateful for your time and your commitment to guiding the next generation of innovators. To our participants, your enthusiasm and thoughtful engagement continue to be the driving force behind this initiative. We hope today's session has equipped you with new perspectives and the confidence to take your entrepreneurial ideas further. Our heartfelt thanks goes to O'Reilly's Engineering Professional Association for their unwavering support in bringing these valuable in learning opportunities into life. Thank you once again. for being part of this journey. We look forward to see you in the next session. Thank you.